It is International Holocaust Remembrance Day, and this year marks 80 years since the liberation of one of the most notorious Nazi concentration camps, Auschwitz. More than 1 million men, women, and children, mostly Jews, were murdered there. Ceremonies and memorials are already underway this morning. These are scenes of a wreath-laying ceremony from earlier this morning. The main commemoration begins in less than 2 hours. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is representing Canada among the world leaders attending. But this day is all about the survivors, a group which is growing smaller in number each year. There are only about 1,000 remaining in the world. And the focus is on their stories and the lessons that still must be learned from that harrowing moment in history. Evan Dyer is covering Auschwitz and the Prime Minister's travels there for CBC News, and he reports on what is unfolding there today.
It's 80 years today since the Soviet Red Army liberated the Auschwitz-Birkenau extermination and concentration camp, which you see here behind me. And dignitaries from around the world are here to mark this anniversary today, the 80th anniversary, along with several survivors. Of course, after 80 years, survivors are all 80 years old and older. And so there's an awareness, I think, among many of the people coming here today that this is probably one of the last major anniversaries where significant numbers of survivors will be able to attend in person. 2 survivors traveled from Canada. Howard Chandler and Miriam Ziegler from Toronto came with the delegation of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, who a short while ago visited a house just outside of the camp, which was recently purchased by the Auschwitz Foundation. This is the notorious House 88, as it was known, which featured in the recent film The Zone of Interest. And this is where Camp Commandant Rudolf Haas lived with his wife and 5 children and maintained a sort of an idyllic life just outside of the walls of this camp, where over 1 million people were murdered during the course of the Second World War. We just learned that among the large number of dignitaries, presidents, prime ministers, kings and queens coming here, mostly from across Europe, President Volodymyr Zelensky will also be here today. That had not been announced previously. Of course, his travel arrangements are typically secret because he has to leave Ukraine overland, and that's a journey of some 500 kilometers just to get to the Polish-Ukrainian border. But he will make that journey to be here today. Of course, he's also Jewish, as well as being the president of Ukraine and somebody who lost family members himself in the Holocaust. A notable absence, as at the last 10-year anniversary, the 70th anniversary, is Vladimir Putin, who hasn't been here since 2005. Although over 230 Russian soldiers died liberating this camp, there is very bad blood, of course, between Russia and Poland, and in 2022, the Auschwitz Foundation declared Vladimir Putin persona non grata here following his large-scale invasion of Ukraine. So present-day global politics certainly having its effect on this anniversary of another war 80 years ago. Evan Dyer, CBC News at Auschwitz.
Evan, thank you. And Evan will be leading our coverage all through the day on CBC News Network. And again, we look live at that camp where more than 1 million people were killed, mostly Jews. 80 years ago today, as Evan was saying, the Soviet Red Army found about 7,000 survivors at the time when they arrived. And Canada's Prime Minister there traveling to House 88, as Evan was saying, and also sitting down for a bilateral discussion with the President of Poland. And we have some moments from that just sent in to us from Evan and his team. This is the Prime Minister and the President of Poland. Let's listen in to some of their comments.
It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be able to remember the Holocaust 80 years ago, the liberation of Auschwitz, and to know that it's not just about the past, it's about the present and the future as well. The responsibility to remember and to say never again continues. Thank you, Anjay, for hosting all of us here in this important moment, and I look forward to talking with you about what's going on in the world and all the work that we can continue to do together, my friend.
Thank you very much, Excellency, Sir Prime Minister, dear Justin. Thank you for coming. It's far away from Canada to Poland, but it's really important that you and the delegation of Canadians, you are here with us today, and you will celebrate with us this very, very important anniversary, maybe one of the last meetings with survivors, because it's already 80 years. So thank you very much. It's really important.
Thank you very much.
So some of the opening remarks before they sit down for bilateral talks, Canada and Poland. And again, the live pictures where much of our coverage in the next little while will be focused. Again, 10 o'clock Eastern, 1 hour, 45 minutes from now, the official commemoration begins with the stories of those survivors. And again, as you heard from the Prime Minister, remembering the past, the present, and the future, and guided by that maxim, never again. We'll continue to bring you coverage from Auschwitz.